This is Fighting Drunk from the guild HMB, and you're listening to the Escape Podcast. This show was recorded in front of a live studio audience. Alright guys, we done? Can I get that beer now? Cheers.
One is a territory war specialist from Australia. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with over a combined 45 years of entertainment under their belts, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The CFH Network presents the Escape Podcast, a weekly show about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Scotty McLaren and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Podcast, the first Grand Arena Championship exhibition round has begun. And it's done. Scotty, push the button.
Don't mind if I do. Hey, wait a minute. Let's just restart.
This is Fighting Drunk from the guild HMB, and you're listening to the Escape Podcast. This show was recorded in front of a live studio audience. Alright guys, we done? Can I get that beer now? Cheers.
One is a territory war specialist from Australia. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with over a combined 45 years of entertainment under their belts, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The CFH Network presents the Escape Podcast, a weekly show about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Scotty McLaren and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Podcast, the second Grand Arena Championships have begun. And matchups seem out of whack for some, but why are Scotty and I not worried? We dive into all of this with Cubs fan Han. The Territory Battles of Geonosis will take a little longer than they normally do, and that's alright as well. The Guild GP drop, the participation trophies, and the Nev gives us his favorite moments of the 5-pillar system in this week's Escape Pod Cast for Kids. With breaking news as and if it happens, this is the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
And hello and g'day and welcome to another edition of the Escape Podcast. And look, guys, I've got to say that, we've seen so much come our way this week. We're going to get into the Grand Arena Championships. We're going to talk more about what's going on inside that territory battle as well. But, Paul, I wanted to start off with something that took me by a little bit of a surprise, and that was when I was doing my ship battles, because I love doing the ship battles, because I've actually worked this out. And here's the thing. If you do your ship battles and you get to number one in the arena, right, in the ships, and you get to number one in the arena, and then you manage to also then get, that means you get around about 6.3 Zeta mats per week, okay? Throw in the fact that you... Yep, and then throw in the fact that you also, now that Capital Games have decided that you're always going to get a drop on those Zeta mats now when you do those daily challenges for the Zeta mats, which come our way. You throw that in, you're looking at around about 10 Zeta mats each week. So, the ships, man, is one of my favourite parts of the game at the moment, especially with the, that means you get around about 20 Zeta mats, so that's a full Zeta that you could have each fortnight, which I absolutely love. So, as I was doing my ship battles, man, I digress. I was doing my ship battles, and then I noticed, hey, hang on, what's happening here? Where's the other ships coming from for Admiral Akbar? They're not there anymore. They've actually changed it, and it was a little bit of a visual impactful change that they've done with the way that they've done the combat displays. And look, I've got to say that it actually looks pretty cool. It just, it just comes out of nowhere. It looks like the ship's actually firing at the other opponents, which is pretty cool. I like it. What did you think of it, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, the capital ship animations definitely have changed, and of course, except for their ultimate. Now, Scotty, I do want to point out one thing in your math. You forgot about the third day that Zeta mats are available. So technically, it's 12. So it's less than a fortnight, my friend.
It is less than a fortnight.
Yeah, if you're pulling first every single week, every single night, then you're definitely getting more Zeta mats than just those 6.4 as you factored out.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about Sundays, guys. So I apologize.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so it. The capital ships did take up a little bit of time, so they're giving you more time for you to actually fight it out instead of going, haha, my healing for Mace Windu is going to kick in, and that's going to take an extra 12 seconds to reconcile for that. I agree. Admiral Akbar seeing those ships fly in and then fly away, that's actually kind of fun. But your opponent ship still does a little bit of a turn to the side, and it's annoying in my opinion, but who cares?
Yeah, exactly. So that's really cool. Now, man, we've got to get into the territory battle. And this is your part of the game, I've got to say. You love this part of the game. And already, as a little bit of a quick update, if you will indulge me here for a second, Paul, I've got my iPad with me today. I am organised, man. I am so organised this week for this
once.
show.
God,
for once.
Listener Lounge, give Scotty a round of applause for finally being organised.
So we've currently got 5 out of 33 stars. We've got another 5 hours to go until we move into the second phase. That's where we're currently at. Oh, I don't know, man. We could get 6 stars here. Where it's we only need a little bit more, and we
need 8,000 more, or we need 8 million more, and the three of the people who have not deployed with, honestly, with less than 6 hours to go, the 3 people that haven't deployed, it's not going to matter, but it will matter for them for a certain territory battle tracking officer tracking your guild's participation. Just saying.
Yes, this is true. So there's 3 that haven't. That's true, but I think that we'll do okay here. But look, man, I want to go over this territory battle, man. Like, it's tough for all you newbies or perhaps even mid-game players as well that are having a crack at this for the very first time, or perhaps even you've decided to say, you know what, no, we're not ready for this as a guild. We're going to run the Hoth territory battle. Look, this is tough. This is tough content. I had Gear 12 characters that were getting smashed in the first round, but then I also had a few crashes here and there. But apart from that, look, it's tough. Even the first round is tough, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah. So I get into this later on, but there's a certain ability of a certain Jedi that does certain things against certain characters. Son of a freaking Mace. But of course I had to run into him, and so as I mentioned, we're going to talk about this more with GrandePatron and Darth Microtransaction. All of the final battles. Final waves of each combat mission. Yep. Thank you. Combat mission is random. Are you going to get 3 entrenched characters? Are you going to get 2 entrenched characters? Do you get Shak Ti? Do you get Jolie Findu? Do you get Mace Windu? Do you get royally screwed over because RNG hates you? This is wild, man. I love the mode, and I do deep down love what they've done, but I hate what they've done.
Well, Paul, I want to throw this out there because, look, when we had CG Carry on the show, she actually threw something out there, and no other content creators actually discussed this, and I'm really surprised. She was talking about how she was really keen to bring in, I guess you could say, vehicles into the game, you know, where people can actually start playing as the vehicle, and they may not have any sort of character ties to them. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but if you have a look inside the details of the Separatist Might, you'll notice that there's a Hailfire tank, which is in character combat only. There's not only that, there's the ATTE, which is in there, and that's going to go head-to-head against you as well. And then there's just heaps others, like of all these little vehicles and stuff that we're going to be fighting against as well. I love that, man. That is pretty cool. We haven't seen those yet, but keen as to see them. I really cannot wait to see that. It's, you know, they're dealing the physical damage to the target enemy with the Hailfire tank. That's for our Separatist characters, and, you know, the Metal Mayhem as well, which comes into it. But then the enemies have got the ATTE.
Scotty, you know, I am looking at that. And I'm not thinking that we're actually going to be... These are the strategic abilities that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that you turn on and off with your platoons.
Yep.
So it's just like the strafing run from above in the Hoth Territory Battles and the ATST strike on the one in the Dark Side Territory Battle. It's sadly, I would love to actually see that happen. You know, we have fought against the ATST.
We have, yep.
In light side territory battles. And another thing that I really do enjoy is that there's the core ship that you can unlock in the later versions, in phase 3 of the Geonosis territory battle. That, listen to this, at level 3, if you can complete all of the ship, all of the squadrons, you will unlock plus 5% speed.
Yes.
And at the start of each Separatist ally's turn, they're going to recover 5% health and then equalize with other Separatist allies.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be very, very cool, man. That is over the top, and especially the 5% health with your Grievous teams, man, and the extra speed for him. Wow, that's going to be lots and lots of fun. But Paul, I digress because, you know, as I say, man, like in, how long is it from now? Around about 5 hours and 16 minutes from now, we're going to move into the second phase. And in that second phase is a little creature that we've all been so excited to see inside the arena.
Teeny tiny creature.
He's in there. It's the Acklay. And
Yay!
Look, I've got, I know that you've got a level 7. You've managed to get a 7-star Brood Alpha. Well done. Congratulations on that. I only just managed to do it just a short time ago, guys. So I managed to do it as well, but that was just through Cantina refreshes. That's how I managed to get mine.
You did it. You did it the free-to-play way. And the very painstaking free-to-play way, if you will. I do have to thank the Patreons of this show for helping me get to try to see the Acklay this time around. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and look, guys, the Acklay is not going to be easy. I just want to go over the Acklay's kit for a second, Paul, if you'll indulge me.
And I'll go the other side. And I'll go the other side on the benefits that you can get during it.
Yep, sure. Okay. On its basic, it deals physical damage to target enemy and it dazes us for 3 turns. It's got an overwhelming fury as well, which I guess you could say is its AoE. It deals physical damage to all enemies. Dazed enemies take bonus damage equal to 25% of their max health. This attack can't be evaded. Now remember, you're going head-to-head here with only your Geonosians up against the Acklay. The Terrifying Roar. Dispel all buffs on all enemies. That's problematic. Remove 75% turn meter. The Acklay becomes enraged if it wasn't already. So this is like the mini raid. Good night. Up to 4 Jedi may be drawn to the battle when the Acklay uses this ability. This attack can't be evaded. This ability starts on cooldown. This damn thing's going to wipe you out. No worries. It also has, at the start of the Acklay's turn, it gains 15% protection up stacking for each dazed enemy until the start of its next turn. At the start of the Acklay's turn, all dazed enemies are exposed as well for 2 turns. The Acklay takes 50% more damage when attacked during its turn, though, so that's good. And then meanwhile, the Acklay also then uses 2 abilities per turn and has plus 50% tenacity. The Acklay then deals 10% less damage for each Jedi present in the battle. Whenever it takes damage, it gains 5% turn meter, which can't be prevented. The Acklay is immune to ability block, daze, fear, health down, shock, stagger, and stun, as well as cooldown increase. And when the encounter begins, the Acklay becomes enraged immediately. While enraged, the Acklay deals 100% more damage, and while the Acklay is not enraged, it has a minus 20% speed, minus 25% offense, and minus 50% tenacity. It's problematic, in the words of Urzatron.
Yeah. Yes, it's very, but we don't know exactly how we're going to be fighting these.
Well, we do. We know we've got to take the Geos in. It's your 5 Geos that you got to fight.
Well, we know that. We know that, but we have to get there. I don't think you're gonna push play in wave 1 is gonna be the Acklay. Remember, Carrie said that they've designed, the same person who designed the Malak event has designed the Acklay.
Yeah.
So there's gotta be in the words of Carrie again, there has to be a nesting doll of some type for you to get there, because don't forget, go ahead and give your impressions on this real quick, because there was something I saw that totally blew my mind as far as fighting the Acklay, and it was something to the fact where, for every time that you defeat a group, you start gaining these certain stacks, and once you hit 10, something happens. I have to find exactly where that's at.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, for me, it says here, frightening adversary, and that's one of the abilities that the Acklay's got. They got that right. This damn thing is frightening. I'm scared, Paul, of this thing. I know I'm going to get my butt absolutely handed to me. I kind of hope we don't have to go through, because we know it's a special mission, right? I'm kind of hoping that we don't have to go through a bunch of clones and a bunch of Jedis first to then get to the Acklay. I want to just go straight in and see the Acklay, because that damn thing's going to just smash you from the get-go. So, it's already got Enrage up from the start. So, I want to just go in and just fight it.
So it's losing Enrage, which is good.
Yeah, it does. But having said that, I just want to go straight in. I don't want to be fighting any other characters first. I just want to go straight in and see this thing. I'm just keen to see the animations on it as well. Like, I know that the animations on it are going to be absolutely sensational. This is not going to be an easy event, guys. So, yeah, if you've got your characters up, and by the way, you need to have your Brood Alpha up to 16.5 for this to even get into this particular event. So you'll certainly need to have that. So, look, if you want to know what the easiest way is to get to 16.5, well, I can tell you. You can get to 16.5 if you've got your Brood Alpha at around about 6-star, but whether or not that'll let you level 6, sorry, I'm not. Whether or not that'll let you get into the event or not, I'm not sure. You might need a
you can do 6.
You can do 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that just gets you to the threshold, right? But you've got to have all of the abilities maxed out except for his Zetas. Now, I don't have the Zetas on him. I've got 4 gold mods on him, 1 blue mod and 1 purple mod. I've actually modded him for lots of speed and potency. It's probably not the right way to go about it, but, we'll see. The only reason why I thought potency is because as his lead Zeta shows, the Queen's Will, he's got 60% tenacity. Sorry, the tenacity. I've gone with tenacity. So he's, so he's got the plus 60% tenacity. So I want to give him more tenacity and see how he goes. So, yeah, but... Yeah, so I'm at I digress, 18334 is what my Geonosian Brood Alpha is right now. And he's ready to go.
Mine's sitting at 168.72. I have him at gear 10 with both of the top 2 pieces. And I also added a lovely droid collar to the bottom left.
Nice.
I have Omega'd, only Omega'd, his glaive sweep and his conscription. Yep. So he takes he helps with the buffs and helps with the debuffs, and he's all oranged as far as his mods. I just threw what I could. I wanted to get him to 16.5. There's one, stun guns. You know me and stun guns. We're not friends.
Yep.
But Scotty, I found the thing, and it's actually the ability during the Acklay fight. It's called Separatist Motives. Separatist Motives is as such. Whenever this character defeats an enemy, all Separatist allies gain a stack of Separatist affiliation for the rest of the battle, with a maximum of 10 stacks. If they hit that 10 stacks, it becomes loyalty. Now, affiliation does 5% more damage with non-health based attacks, but loyalty is 50% more damage, so that's the 5 times 10. But at the start of the turn, they recover 10% health and protection, and all other defeated allies with Separatist loyalty, and when defeated, all other allies with Separatist loyalty recover 50% of their max health and max protection, and they gain 100% of the defeated allies' offense.
What?
And 15% of their max health until the end of the next turn. So it's time to take out those Jedi that are sitting around that, if you will. Especially if maybe one of them's entrenched and you've cleared out any of those scary extra buffs that they get.
Yeah, absolutely. And wow, man, I cannot wait to fight this thing. I just really can't. I know I'm going to get my backside handed to me, but hey, I digress. It's going to be really good. I just cannot wait to get involved in that. But I don't know, Paul. Let's go back through the details of what's also been released with this particular update here, and inside the territory battle as to who you're going to be facing off against, and some of the characters that are new in certain ways that have managed to make their way in, and the other characters that, probably are not really that new. And first things first, man, I wanted to throw out there that there is a couple of clones that I've got a funny feeling that could be coming into the game at some stage. It's nice to see Pons in there.
Scotty, you're going to summon McMull if you say that 2 more times.
Clones! We need to get McMull in here. I can see Pons in there, Arc Trooper, Clone Commander, Clone Sharpshooter, and the Clone Medic. Now, out of all of those characters that, we've already seen those in the first phase of the territory battle, which is really cool. At the time of recording, that's the only phase that we've actually seen so far. Out of all of them, their animations are pretty sweet, but the best one out of them all is that Clone Medic. I love that character. I cannot wait to see it come to the game. Hopefully we'll be able to play with that character at some stage, Paul.
I hope that thing never sees the light of day, just like I hope Jolie Findu never sees the light of day. But
why not? I mean, like, that medic could be cool. That medic would be cool. How cool is it?
We already have enough rezzing Jedi with Jolie himself. Do you really want something that's going to do more resurrections? We already get upset when people leave turn meter on Night Sisters. We already get upset when people leave turn meter on JKR. Just think of what it's going to be like if you start leaving turn meter on clones and there's a sharpshooter and a medic actually as a playable character. Scotty, you're never going to win.
But I love it. I love it. And just imagine how good they would be for, for your territory wars and also, your Grand Arena. I want that medic. I really do, because that animation is so cool. It deserves to have its own place inside the game. You should be able to play with it.
Then record it and watch it on loop, Scotty.
No.
I do not want to see that make it to the playable arsenal of character items.
I do. I want to, because I think we're going to need those guys for the upcoming light side Geonosis territory battle. Because, they're going to be awesome. And especially them under a Shark T lead. Wow, look out. Their kits are pretty good. And I recommend people to actually read their kits as well as to what they've got. But there's two other characters that I also wanted to mention that are thrown in here too, Paul. And one of them is one that I've been really keen to see come to this game for quite some time. And I'm glad that he's actually got his moment in the game as well. We've been talking about this for quite some time. We said that Padme had to come to the game and Shark T had to come to the game. We called those two. The other one that we've also said that needed to come to the game, which will probably come, I wouldn't be surprised if it's very soon, Ki Adi-Mundi. He's in the game. He's finally there, and he's someone that you fight against, actually. And look, I cannot wait to see him at some point come to the game. But the other one that kind of surprised me was that we've got Padawan Anakin. Now, he's actually been in the game files for quite some time. If you go through the data mines, you'll actually notice that that he's been in there for a while. It doesn't look too much like his first two abilities are any different to what he already does as Anakin Skywalker, but the Padawan Mind Trick is a pretty cool little ability that he's got, where he inflicts 2 damage over time debuffs and speed down on a target enemy for 2 turns, and the attack can't be evaded. And he also has the plus 50% critical damage, and he always critically hits. And if he's buffed, Padawan Anakin deals 20% more damage and 100% counter chance. So it's a little bit different to what we've seen already from the normal Anakin Skywalker. But yeah, Padawan Anakin, I wouldn't mind seeing him come to the game as well to really boost those Galactic Republic Jedi.
I don't want to see... I don't think that Padawan Anakin should be anywhere in this, because what is on the surface of Geonosis? It's sand. No, it's sand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Padawan Anakin hates sand, so he should not be on Geonosis. No, but seriously,
if he was fighting against Tuskens, that would be fun. Fighting against the Tuskens, that would be fun.
Exactly, but he would have the same darn thing as Mace Windu and one-shot Tuskens.
Absolutely. But yeah, look, we got to get onto Mace Windu. His kit looks pretty good too. I love the fact the party's over, and for those of you that don't know about this, Mace Windu's damage instantly defeats Jango Fett. Now, we're going to talk more about this later, but Paul, what did you do?
What did I do what?
What did you do in the dark side territory battle? Which characters did you bring in against Mace Windu?
I didn't bring it in against Mace Windu. They put Mace Windu against it. But
Jango Fett
I'll tell you
there.
this. I'll tell you this. No, I'll tell you this. Before I went in, when I finally got to go in there, I asked Yevon 4. I said, Yevon, has anybody seen Mace Windu? Nobody answered me. Nobody answered me. So I was like, I'm going to bring in my bounty hunters. Here we go. I saw Samuel L. Jackson, and I was like, I can't say that. I had to bleep it out later.
Oh, dear. When I read your post saying, God damn it, I just took Jango in against Mace, I laughed so hard. It was hilarious, brother. I laughed very, very hard at that. That was very funny. Very, very funny. Hey, mate, look, let's move on from that and some of the characters that we have seen, and let's talk about some of the great things that are, of course, happening here. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about is that it has been confirmed. Carrie actually spoke to us about this a little while ago, that those shipability challenges will now drop a guaranteed Zeta. They're removing the 0 and 2 options, so it's a guaranteed Zeta every time. That's great. So that's finally dropped. A lot of people have been talking about that. And not only that, look, I guess we've got to talk about the next thing.
Before we do, did you also notice if you got an Omega guaranteed as well? Because both times I pulled 1 Zeta and 1 Omega.
Yeah, I got an Omega as well.
Each time?
I did too. Yeah, each time, yeah.
So that's much better as well, in my opinion. I'd gladly sacrifice the chance at a second Zeta for a guaranteed 1 Omega.
Yeah. Well, no.
Curtis and Hellenics both right now saying that they did not get any Omegas.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right,
Ouch.
fair enough. That hurts, yeah. But I'll take the guaranteed Zeta every time too. Absolutely. Look, there is a problem with the Dark Side Territory Battle, though, Paul. I'll let you take this one, man. The Guild GP drop.
Well, the GP drop, luckily people were able to recover in time enough for this because it happened, I think it happened the day before that GOTB came along. But I have a feeling, why did it drop? I think what we were seeing was a forward-facing version of a matchmaking algorithm that they were testing that ended up squeaking into the whole code because people were so incensed about how Grand Arena Championships were match made that they were like, okay, let's do this. And internally they were supposed to be able to see the numbers of, taking away your fluff. And I think that's what ended up getting posted. When you logged in, it subtracted your fluff and wrote that as an internal number, but that internal number accidentally ended up player-facing or forward-facing, as they say. So, they are probably working on trying to do a better Grand Arena Championship matchmaking system. And if it is true in what I'm speculating, we had 10 million GP of fluff that logged in, Scotty, in our guild.
Wow. Really?
10 million. We dropped 10 million. I actually think it was 11.5 million if I added up everything that I saw us drop on.
Wow.
But so
there goes my account.
There goes your account, there goes Zed's account, there goes my account, and we still need one of our young Padawans. And that equals a full account. 3.5 of our upper echelon gone.
Wow. Well, on that note, that's not a good note, but but they are fixing it, right? They are fixing this.
Oh, it's
GP
done.
drop.
It's done. Yeah,
good.
They fixed it a long time ago. And if somebody logged in from the time that they initially implemented the fix to the point where they implemented the accidental bug, but it didn't take away any gameplay, mind you. So you're not getting your 3 Clone Wars Chewie shards for this. To the time that they actually implemented the fix, those are 2 entirely different timelines that impacted nothing in your game. So
that's
some
good.
people didn't even see this. Like, I don't know,
Well,
maybe ANZGC while they were sleeping?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm in Australia. We didn't see it. So we woke up and everything was fine, hunky-dory, and then we see this thing from Crumb and we're like, what the hell? That's why I guess it pays to be in Australia from time to time, as we'll find out a little bit later on with the Dark Side Territory Battle. But, Paul, I've got to ask you, man, how are you going in the Grand Arena? Now that it's the last one was problematic. They had the drama where it just didn't fire properly, where they rebooted, and now we're back, and we're doing it now. And the Grand Arena seems to be going along quite nicely.
And we all got participation trophies, Scotty. We all got participation trophies.
We did, although
But,
I was a little bit upset because I lost my ship progress, though. I was at 10 out of 15, and I lost that. But anyway, that's cool. I've managed to get that now. I've got to actually say that I'm now in the Bronzium part now, Paul. I've managed to upgrade to Bronzium. So I've managed to get into there. Where are you at? How are you going?
Oh, good for you. I have this thing, called a show that I have to prep for every day each week, and I have to host trivia nights, and last night I had to host a scavenger hunt night. I haven't had time to work on all those feats, but I will admit, I did take a chance to go sit down on my lunch break and play the first round of GAC. I'm going to save that answer for when we talk to Cubs.
Okay.
But as far as how the match felt, I did worry that it wasn't going to be a fair match, but, I think that it was. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic, man. It's absolutely fantastic. I am loving it. I've had 2 full clears.
There you go. But for me, the big thing about this is that people who are up in arms saying, oh, it's off kilter, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to even out in time. This is why Scotty and I are not worried. It will even out in time. You will be facing people that do lots of feats. You're going to be facing people in those leagues. Then you're going to be facing people in certain GP brackets. And then you're going to be facing people that have certain, if it's all true, where it's the top 80 characters for our division, the average GP, yeah, sure. Some of your top 80 are ships. I mean, how many people willingly take Admiral Akbar into a Malik fight?
True, I wouldn't. But you're right, Paul. I would never do that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think it's going to all even out over the course of these exhibitions. Now, yes, they're going to wipe the data, but they've got matchmaking info.
Yeah,
they're gonna wipe your progress so you're not going high up in the league right away, because they're still testing this out. We get 1 week of this, then they're coming back for, is it 4 or 5? My brain has been fuzzy lately.
I think it's
4.
Well, 4, yeah, it's 4. Yeah.
And 4. Then past that, then it's going to stay consistent. And you will climb, and you will enjoy the benefits of these new leagues. Yeah. So, give it time, let it run its course, and you'll start facing those even matches in your mind as well.
Absolutely. Now, we've been given all of the information as to what's coming for July, Paul, and the daily login character will be Geo Spy. Surprise, surprise, it's going to be all about the Geos yet again, or perhaps even this could be where we turn the table a bit. I'm not sure, but we've got 2 Separatist Might territory battles coming our way in next month, so I'd imagine that would probably be,
it's a shift.
It's
a shift back. If we're gonna play, Scotty Speculation and Paul Prognosticator right now, I'm thinking that this is the shift of the ship meta back to the Geos, and the ushering in of Malevolence.
Well, you could be right. In fact, I'd say you would be 100% right, because the second time that the Millennium Falcon is going to be back for people to get, that returns on the 4th of July. So happy Independence Day, guys. You get to fly around in your Millennium Falcon. That's back, along with the Chewbacca legendary event as well. So best of luck on that. So yeah, I think you're probably right there that the Geos will probably make a way back, but same again with Jedi Knight Anakin with the Kenobi ship. You never know. But look, I wanted to also...
What doesn't make sense in the territory battle right now? Have you looked ahead?
No, I haven't. Not really, no. I'm only really looking at the Acklay at the moment.
It's tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Why is the Chimera there? The Chimera wasn't around technically at this point. So
True.
I think that the Chimera is going to be replaced by Malevolence, kind of how they sprung putting Phoenix in phase 1 of the Hoth Lightside territory battle a few iterations after its release. I think they're just going to rewrite it to where you have the Malevolence with the Vulture droids. But they didn't release it yet, so you've got the Executrix.
Yeah. I think you're probably right. We'll see how that plays out. But look, I just wanted to go through some of these, actually, if you wouldn't mind. We've got the other legendary events which are coming for July. We've got the Pieces and Plans, which is the BB-8 event. That's coming back once again. So if you haven't got a 7-star BB-8, make sure you're ready for that. The Daring Droid is also back as well. That's the R2-D2 one. Rey's Hero's Journey is also back. Luke Skywalker's Hero's Journey is back. But the question I ask... Where's Malik? I waited. I waited.
Malik on the bench.
He's not there. I was so ready to go, Paul. I was ready. I've been waiting because I nearly got through him last time. And I'm like, come on, where's Malik? I need to have my Malik. Everyone's talking about the Gear 13 Maliks that they've all got. And I'm starting to get a little bit jealous. So
I just want a 7-star Malik so I can platoon it. Damn TV.
Yeah, so, I'm just a little bit upset there. But anyway, whatever. Look, for all you new game players, get those characters. If you haven't got Jedi Training Rey yet, make sure you get her next month, because she is certainly worthwhile getting. And if you're looking to go to another guild, or perhaps even do something like where you're, trying to farm yourself out there to other places, if you don't have a Jedi Training Rey, a lot of guilds still to this day will probably look at you and say, you don't have her? We're not going to let you in, even if you do have a Malik and a Darth Revan and things like that. So they'll probably just say that to you. All right. So, Paul, look, coming up next, man, we're going to get into the round holo table, my friend, where we catch up with a couple of very, very big name guests, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to go big and we're going to go small. Why? Because we've got GrandePatron and Darth Microtransaction coming up on the other side of this break. Real quick, before we throw it a break, though.
Go on.
Fine. For everybody in the listener lounge bagging on me for mispronunciation, Chimera, as Hellenix decided to point out to me. Chimera. All right? There you go. We'll be back after the break on the Escape Pod cast.
Zalimra.
Hey there, it's Xylo Takedown from Takedown Games, and you're listening to the Escape Pod cast.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127, that's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod. Cast.
Like what you hear on the Escape Pod cast? Want to support Scotty and Paul? Then sign up to be a Patreon. For as low as $2 a month, you can help them launch Escape Pods for months to come. Visit patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up. Support us today.
And now time for something completely shameless.
This is your favorite YouTuber's favorite Greek-American Swuggo YouTuber from the greater New York City area, whose name has 8 letters, beginning with an H and ending with an X. Wanna guess who, TC14? Come on, guess.
Horsebox.
Try again.
Polio box.
Seriously?
Horsepex.
You know what? Just forget it. I was trying to get you to say Hellenics, you dumb droid. Anyway, welcome back to the Escape Pod cast with your hosts, Paul Anthony and Scotty McLaren. Take it away, boys. I have a droid to disassemble.
Oh dear.
The Escape Pod Cast. The Round Holotable.
And welcome back to the Escape Pod Cast. And in this part of the Round Holotable, I'm extremely excited because we are joined by the ones, the onlys, Darth Microtransaction, and also GrandePatron, or Grande, as we like to call him, who is back for another week with us. And I guess you could say it's the big and the small of things. Hello, guys. Welcome to the Escape Pod Cast.
Hey man, what up? How you doing? That's quite an intro.
Yeah, that was great. That was great, Scotty.
Hey guys, nice. Welcome along to the podcast. First things first, Micro man, if you'll indulge me for a sec. Man, have you been bringing it on your channel lately, bro? Congratulations on all the success you guys have been having, man.
Oh yeah, sure, I suppose. You know, I don't know, man. Just dude making videos. See where it goes.
And man, Grande, man, you guys just continue to go from strength to strength. And look, well done on everything you guys have been up to in the last week as well. Like, it just continues for you guys as well, man. So congratulations to you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, all of our crew over there at RSG, Ranger Infinity, they do a lot of hard work. I just take all the credit.
Well, we are talking about the Territory Battle, and at the time of recording, we've only seen the first phase of this come through. And fellas, I'll start with you first, Darth Microtransaction. Man, what's your first opinions of it so far? The Dark Side Territory Battle.
GrandePatron, you gonna take that? You gonna let him call me first? All right.
You absolutely, he can call you first. It's fine.
All right. I'll answer the question for the class here. So my opinion on it was it's pretty fun, honestly. I actually like having PvE content that I have to use my brain for a second, or at least something new to read in the game. You know, the new text and stuff are pretty cool. Entrenchment, I think, is a pretty badass mechanic. And so what's the deal with, I gotta ask you this, because honestly, I don't know, what is the deal with the bosses at the end? Is it different for different people? Because people keep saying conflicting reports of which boss is showing up where.
Yeah, so I brought in my first battle, I brought in Darth Revan, and I think it was maybe Kit Fisto at the end or something like that. But, of course, the time that I bring in Jango Fett, guess who's waiting at the end?
Oh,
freaking Mace Windu. No, Mace Windu.
There you go.
Is sitting there, and of course his special cut off the head of Jango. Screw you, Mace.
Nice.
Yeah, they are all different. So the ads, the characters surrounding them can be in different compositions, and the actual whichever one of the Jedis you get at the end can be a little different. I think today though everyone did get Shaak Ti in one of them.
No, I didn't.
You never saw Shaak Ti at the end?
I didn't see her. No, I had Ayla Secura and Luminara in one of them. That was
now that is true.
Yeah,
I had them too.
Yeah, no, I didn't see Shaak Ti at the very end at all of any of them. None.
Interesting.
That might have been when my phone crashed. So,
almost everybody I've talked to has seen Shaak Ti at least once. It's not super easy. The Shaak Ti one, I mean, she's pretty beastly. But yeah, it is a little bit RNG on who you get. It's also a little RNG, I think, on how many characters end up with the special locked buffs too. Some people have seen 1 entrenched character. Some people have said, well, mine started with 2 entrenched characters. So still got to work on that a little bit.
I had 3 in one of mine, where I had entrenched characters in mine. So I was just like, wow, really? I can't change that up, be nice, especially now that I have that Geo Brood Alpha that's there, and I couldn't even put him in the leadership slot. So that was, I guess you could say, problematic in some ways. Had to use what's his name? Poggle. And we all know that Poggle's not a very good leader at the moment. So
he's OP. I don't know what you're talking about.
Can confirm.
How'd you do? How'd you do on the GOTB? The Geonosis mission. How'd you do, Micro?
So I could do everything but like the special missions, basically the ones that require things. Because I actually did not have Newt ready. So that was one of them. I got Bobby because I didn't have Newt. And then the other one, I just do not have the bugs yet. So I'm still working on the bugs.
Okay.
I was able to do 12 out of 12 on like everything else, but I couldn't.
Very nice.
The ones where I'm limited, I got stuck. But, I have Malik and all that stuff. So it's pretty easy to go through it. It wasn't really that hard. People were saying that it was like very, very, very difficult. And I didn't think it was like that difficult. I don't know what you guys' opinion on it was, but.
Remember what Carrie called it? Barzo trendy.
So I think kind of what happened is, right, people just need to be prepared. You have a lot of people that are used to basically going in, throwing in a couple of platoons, going in and doing their special and doing their combat mission. And this TB is not like that right now. So yeah, you do have to go in there and do stuff kind of in a little bit better way, right? You have to wait for all the platoons, wait for your rest of your guild to fill the platoons. And then after you fill the platoons, then you can go in. I will tell you, we have people that had to give up Night Sisters. We have 2 guys that had to give up Darth Revan, today, right? Because there's one Darth Revan top, one Darth Revan bottom. So trying to create a team, it's pretty easy if you didn't have to give platoons to say, oh, we'll just go separatists, for the one special mission. Probably with IG 100. Bring in your Geos, that's great. Bring in Alpha Brood, and you might get far and you might not. Okay, great. And then just go Sith Empire, Triumvirate, Night Sisters. Well, here's the problem. Like 7 dudes have to platoon those teams.
Yeah.
If you look at it. And so the challenge is, okay, and go one step further for the people who had to get rid of one of those special teams. And, it seems currently that it's probably a bounty hunter team that makes it as that 5th team, or some kind of a hodgepodge bounty hunter team that makes it. We've had a couple of guys who maybe had to deploy a few things, and they ended up. We have an interesting guy who actually got through it. He ended up having to platoon Dark Bastila, HK-47, and Sith Trooper, and he actually put in crew and First Order Stormtrooper. So he ended up with a 3-tank team to replace, and he cleared the mission just barely, he said, but he was able to clear the mission. So it's these, what do you do when you had to platoon part of the quote unquote one of the best 3 teams? That's really where the challenge comes in.
Absolutely, yeah. And, look, for me, like I was lucky in a way. Because I live in Australia and my guild's part of the United States. So I woke up this morning and, nice and early, I was doing the breakfast radio show and I had a look and the platoons were already filled. So I was like,
what can I say except you're welcome?
Exactly. Paul, how did you find it, man? Because you are our territory battle officer, this is your game mode. How did you find it?
Well, yeah, we talked about it a little bit in the opening segment, but to elaborate on it, I'm more worried about what we're going to see tomorrow with how many dark side Basilas we're going to have to get rid of. Micro, did you have, just a quick question, did you have, what was the most painful thing you had to get rid of? Because almost everybody had to.
I was the same like Scotty. Like, I didn't have to give up anything either. Like, when I woke up, it was already done. I'm from Alaska, so normally, like, when I'm waking up at, like, 10 a.m. or, bright and early, 10, 11, then everyone else around the world is already well and done all the work for me, and I can just casually stroll on in
Nice.
The rewards.
Well, what about then? Fine, Grande. Did you have to give up anything? Because I know you're the same time as me.
Oh yeah, I had to. I gave up Darkside Basti and Sith Trooper. We've kind of worked it out. We've worked it out. We have assigned platoons, right? I mean, we kind of micromanaged this one a little bit.
Oh yeah.
As far as saying, okay, if everybody gave up 3 characters, then we could kind of make this work. So let's work on, if you're going to give up First Order, you might as well give up 7 of them, if that's what you're going to give up. If you're going to give up, troopers, you might as well give up all your troopers. And then if you're one of these guys that has to give up one of these main teams, like a Revan, like a Darkside Basti, like a Sith Trooper, then that's it. You just have to do those 2 or 3 and you're done, right? And we did. You end up with a couple of. I mean, there was some weird ones in there. We looked at it and we're like, could they put more Veers in there? Like, they really don't want you using Imperial troopers.
I wonder why.
But you start thinking about it and you're like, they gained turn meter because somebody died. The teams we're facing are super tanky. I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of turn meter based on deaths, and so I'm not really sure, or protection ups, right? So you're not. I don't really know if those teams would work so well.
It would cause a tear in the space-time continuum, because we all know the clone troopers became the Imperial troopers.
Maybe so.
Well, I've got to say that, as I was playing this, this particular game mode, look, I really enjoyed it. And, I was more so, I don't know about you guys, but I was more so looking at who are we fighting here? And, I was clicking on each one of them going, oh, yeah, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool. And, I've got to say that the animations on that clone medic, my goodness, how good are they? Like, where he's got the little box out and up it goes. That's cool.
It is. They do have some really good mechanics. There are some great enemies we're fighting for sure.
I
just want my Luminara to act like their Luminara at some point. That's. And
they have ARC Trooper now. Like, ARC Trooper is one of the coolest looking guys.
Yes.
ARC Trooper's got to come, and then Pawns, CT, whatever.
Sharpshooter.
Yep, Sharpshooter.
Yep.
That gives another character that does armor shred. I mean, some of these characters, if we got to play them, would be super awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was interesting too that the frog version of Jolie Bindu was in it as well.
Yeah, but he's different. His kit's different.
Vanguard is what they call him this time, right?
Yeah, his kit's different now.
Yeah. So he was my one.
Res.
Well, he was my one.
No, they left that for the medic, right?
Well, I went and targeted him straight away, guys. Was that your immediate strategy as well, to target?
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, watch him res everybody.
Yeah.
I read the kits before I went in, so I didn't quite have that. We've kind of started to work through like what's the kill order, and trying to see like what could we come up with. We think, or at least the 4 or 5 of us that are talking about it right now, Clone Medic, ARC Trooper, Sharpshooter, the Jedis, and then the only one that goes on top of that whole list is Shock T if she's there. And then if you read the values of Entrenched, if you kill an entrenched enemy, it resets the cooldowns, including the cooldowns of the event specials, we think, if you kill them, which means they're going to do that crazy AoE thing quicker. So we're thinking you actually want to kill the people without entrenched first before you go for the ones with entrenched. But it's just our first run through to see. It could be all different here in a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what this whole thing. That's what right now is in this game. Is where are we going with our territory battles? This will set a benchmark for the guilds that are doing Geonosis territory battle, for them to go forward and say, okay, I could get this if I do Hoth, or I could try to better this. I know where I'm at in Hoth. Can we do better knowing what we know now in Geo? And, I don't know about you. Where's your cutoff? What's your star level that you're like, yeah, it's better? Me personally, I'm thinking 20 or better, so you're at least getting a good chunk of GET2. I think 20 is the magic number.
No, I mean, you're not going to see 20 for a while. I mean, it's probably too hard to see 20. I mean, you might see one or two guilds that get 20, but it's not going to be a bunch. If you go in here and you look at the rewards and you actually read what these things say, they're all a little bit different, right? So we could see some obvious breakpoints, right? Obviously, there's a breakpoint at 33. There's also a breakpoint at 22. But if you actually go in and read the loot boxes, there's actually another breakpoint at 16 and 17. 15 stars and 16 stars. So 16 stars gives you the potential for a fully crafted piece of G12, and 15 doesn't. It doesn't look very different because the boxes look the same. One just says T13 and one says T14. But if you actually read the description, they're different. So I think there's one breakpoint there. My goal is to say, okay, let's work on getting the guilds at least to 16 star. We can work on trying to get to 22, but I don't think 22 is going to be very obtainable for very many people.
For me, it's more like if we have enough people that can do the mission that gives us Wat Tambor. Like, if we can get Wat Tambor shards, I think then I really don't care how much the rewards are. I would still rather do that. Like, if we have enough people that have that kind of team. Otherwise, I would just go with whatever gives you the most currency. But to be honest, the currency is pretty good in this territory battle. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, I agree.
True.
I agree. A fair amount of both.
Yeah, I agree. But the only thing is that, you might find yourself in a pretty interesting sort of a situation, because going after those Wat Tambor shards as well, I mean, like, I've kind of had a look at, a look ahead at that as well. And, it's not going to be very easy to try and get those. I mean, especially with that, that threshold that you already need to have your characters at to even compete. So I don't know if we'll be seeing too many Wat Tambor shards around in this particular territory battle, guys. What do you think?
Well, yeah, Scotty, I just really quick gotta fully say you hit the nail on the head when you said even compete. It doesn't mean you're gonna win.
Yeah. It
just means you're tall enough to ride the roller coaster.
Exactly. And that's the thing. You need 16.5 to even be a part of it. And the first Wat Tambor shards that you get are actually in the third phase. And look, the only one that I can't even it's the Geos you need for that particular shard.
You need Geos and Brood Alpha.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to have a 7-star Brood Alpha, and the Brood Alpha has to be 16.5.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. You may not get it this time, but most people, if they're hard farming, I mean, if they don't even have to whale in the packs, let's say they're just hard farming with crystals, they could probably get there in about 16 days, which means by the time the next one comes around, they will be ready for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think that we'll be seeing too many people the first go around having that. But
second or third one, though, absolutely. Yeah. Second or third one. Oh, yeah. By the second one, it'll probably double, and then a bunch of people will finish. I mean, a bunch of people did not have anything to farm in Cantina.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
So this is what they're farming with Cantina energy.
And so, we really quick, Scotty, we're going to, we talked about this in other segments here as well, but yes, I do have that 7-star Brood Alpha. And right now I will reveal that he is currently sitting at 16,695. That's with 2 Omegas, the Geonosian Brute fully upgraded, all orange mods, and level 10 with the top 2 pieces on him. So that's right there. The minimum is 2 Omegas, full brute, oranges, and the top 2 at 10.
Wow.
No biggie, dude. Just pull out your wallet. They've been nice enough to put Gear 12 pieces packs for sale lately.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I kind of whale a little bit differently. I spend a lot on energy, and I farm a lot of characters rather than buy packs. And the reason why is because I'm always looking for what's the long-term gate, not the short-term gate, right? So if I can get something for free or for a lower price per item, I will get it at the lower price per item, or I'll get it where I get the value add. Like, that's the reason why I'd rather farm for Geonosian Brood Alpha than drop $100 or $200 on packs, because the Brood Alpha gate is a short-term gate. It's a very short-term gate. We already know if you farmed it, you'd get it in 18 days. So if you farmed it and you bought the hundreds and you could get it in 18 days, then there's no reason to spend the extra money just to gain one. The larger thing to do is to spend money to gain something that you would get cumulative, right? So what I mean by that is taking characters to G13 and spending for G13 would get me more crystals so I could farm more. So it's like this, you have to get this to get that, to get that, to get this, to get this, to get that. And I find that I actually end up with a more well-rounded roster rather than dropping money on packs. I mean, you drop money on packs, it feels like a lottery scratch off it feels like you're like, come on, baby, big money, big money, big money. Woohoo, we got 20 shards this time. Yeah, it's painful for me, and it doesn't seem like long-term that's the best investment. Now, I find the best investment is whenever I actually farm for stuff and just buy extra energy and farm for it.
Now, you're talking about spending, and that is a perfect segue into the other thing that we wanted to talk to you about. And, I mean, with a name like Darth Microtransaction, you know that I'm going to you on this one first. You know, we talk about whales in this game. And I mean, I saw, you do. And, you know, we've seen your streams where you're like, okay, what is it going to take to get to this? You know, so, you know, what to you, and I'm going to be very careful because I know GrandePatron's going to come back with a hilarious joke if I don't word this correctly. What makes a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Purgle, as Scotty would say, or whale in the terminology of gaming, of you know, pay to play versus free to play? What are you a whale, Micro? And what constitutes as a whale to you?
Well, I mean, it depends who you ask, right? I mean, if you ask me, am I a whale? I'm going to say, yeah, because I spend a retarded amount of money on this game. Like, for me, that's whaling. Okay, but if you ask, like, CG Capital Games, they're whale, probably not. If you ask any free-to-play guy, they're going to tell you that I have a mental disorder, and that's the reason. You know what I mean? It's just whoever you ask is going to give you a different answer to this question. And honestly, like, I'm probably a whale, but I don't think I would ever spend this amount of money on a game if there was not like a content reason at this point. Like, I probably spent about $1,200, $1,400 or something over a year and a half, and then it just got kind of insane lately, you know? But spending that kind of money on a mobile game, I can't really like judge people for it, because you never know where people are in their life, right? It's like someone could be stupidly rich, or somebody could only make like $2-3 grand a month, right? But they spend like $1,000 a month on whatever it is they enjoy. I can't really like fault them for that. But at the same time, the question is like, what makes a whale? I think if you spend over $100 on any game, you're a whale. It's just kind of how I see it. Like in-game microtransactions, doesn't matter. PC. Is that
$100, is that lifetime, or is that in a time period?
That's a good question.
Because I mean, there's people that go out there, and let's use the Modern Warfare series or any of the Call of Duty series. You know, you pay $60 for the game, and then you pay another $40 for the expansion pack, the season pass, and then on top of that, you've got
don't mention the fact that you're on a $2,000 piece of equipment you're playing it on.
$2,000 or $500 if you're on console, but at the same time, you're also paying, I really like this rubber duck skin for my gun. I'm going to buy that. Boom, there's another $5, and that's only cosmetic.
Well, and that's just comparing games to other games. But like, man, do you want to talk about hobbies? Go ask somebody what they spend on their motorcycle or, even washing their car. Like, I'm telling you, man. Everyone's got an addiction. Everyone's got something.
It's entertainment dollars, right? I mean, what we're talking about here is entertainment dollars, and everybody's entertainment budget is different. And what people decide they want to spend their money on, I think it all depends on where they're at and what they feel like is the right thing for them. Everybody's different. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, Darth Micro's put it out on a video before. I mean, I've spent 6 times what Micro has on this game. That's a lot of money, right? I've also been playing it longer than he has, right? But if you work it out, it's like $4 a day. So you start looking at it in your life.
For only $4 a day, you can grande a patron too.
Here's the thing, and here's like another point, okay? Which is I get annoyed by people making fun of other people for purchasing stuff. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant, right? I was a used car salesman for a bit, okay? And like I say used, but I worked at a dealership, Nissan, a respectable dealership, right? Selling crappy cars. But I sold used cars too. And you get some dumbass guy come in there and buy a car. And I had this one guy come in, okay? And he came in, a military guy, probably newly signed, and he wanted to buy a truck. Okay, all his buddies said they bought a truck. He wanted to buy a truck. So I'm like, all right, I'll sell you a truck. He looks and he sees one on the showroom floor. It's all jacked up with all this garbage on it, right? And he's like, I want to buy that one. I'm like, you don't want to buy that one, bro. He's like, I want to buy that one. I'm like, I will make $8,000 if you buy this truck. I'm like, you don't want to buy that one. You know why I'll make that? Because it's way over what it's actually. You don't want to buy that truck. But anyway, he buys the truck, okay? And his financing was so horrible, but he was able to get like a cosign or something. He ended up having like 16% interest over the longest term he could possibly get. It was going to cost him like $140,000 for this truck that's probably worth like $48,000. And he came back the next day like crying about the purchase. But what I realized in that day is that if somebody wants something and they want it bad enough, like nothing is going to stop them. It does not matter. Someone's always going to go for the thing. And I think that's the one reason this game, it has a high ceiling. It's not that it's an expensive game. It's that it's expensive if you want everything. If that's your goal, it has a way high ceiling. You can buy a car for $100,000 capped out, but if you want everything in this game, man, it's a lot of money.
That's true. That's very true.
Varying degrees, right? And it depends on what people are in their life. I also feel like whale shaming, right? Shaming people on something, or shaming people for being free to play is a little bit tough. The challenge though is that sometimes in this game mode, people feel the need that they have to spend, not that they want to spend. That's the challenge, right? So the challenge is when somebody says, I'm buying this because my guild needs it, not because I actually want it. So then you get into this whole issue of
that's their fault.
That is their fault to some extent, or they feel like I need this, otherwise I won't be competitive, and then they're buying it not because they want it, rather than what they need.
It's the same thing. If someone came in and bought a piece of car from me, and I told them it's a piece of car, it's like, do your research. Like, you go in to buy something. There's two people doing a job. The person of CG, their job is to get your money. Your job is to keep as much money as you can and get what you want. And the person who does their job better wins. That's the whole game. Like, there's no, I don't know. I get on another rant talking about like the whole idea of like gambling addiction and all. It's like, just don't play the game. Like, just
turn it off.
Yeah, like don't. Like, if you're getting bullied online, don't read the comments. Not hard.
You make a good point. I've told people before, I'm like, if you're having a moment, like, go walk the dog, man. Like, this is actually a mobile game we play in our free time, right? This is not, I mean, some people get very passionate about it, and I'm like, just check yourself for a minute. I mean, this is not real life. This is a mobile game. Let's remember that.
Yeah. One of my favorite, you were talking about bullying online. I've seen Grande get bullied a few times, but I love the one, and I got to bring this up, Micro. My favorite one that you embraced was the Ginger James Hetfield.
Oh yeah,
I loved that.
You get that. You get Blake Anderson as like Daly. I had this guy who would call me Prince Harry literally every time he saw me as a coworker because he thought because I had red hair I was like the prince. It's just, man, you get some crazy people. I don't know. I find it hilarious, the whole hair thing, is because I obviously do it as like a brand, right? So I can never ever get mad at someone who gives me shit over like the whole ginger thing online because it's like I'm literally marketing that. My whole logo is my hair. But in person, it's a different story.
Look, guys, getting back to this as well. I mean, what do you think's in store for the rest of this territory battle? I mean, what are you guys really aiming for within your guilds? Micro, we'll start with you.
Well, honestly, I'm just kind of like following the orders of the guild. I'm in a lot more casual these days. I'm more excited from like the player aspects of things. Like I just want to see the cool mechanics that we're going to have. I'm excited because they said we're going to fight some creatures, and I've been waiting for like the whole time for this. I think we're going to fight Acolyte.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm pretty hyped for that. I think that's
Acolyte at midnight tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for that. And
I'm kind of in the same boat as you, man. Like I'm really enjoying just that new game mode, and I'm just like looking at all the characters, and I'm just sort of like, yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. Look, I got to say that Paul will probably hate that because I'm probably paying more attention to who the characters are and what they do, and like, oh, that's a cool animation, and I'm getting myself, blown up. He'll probably hate me for that. But having said that, like, I'm enjoying that, and I know that I can learn from, my mistakes and doing that sort of thing. Paul, I know you hate me for that, but what about you, Grande? I know that you guys are shooting for around about the 16-star mark, but what about you, man? Are you similar to me? Are you just like watching the game mode and just going, how cool is this? I know you kind of study it a little bit.
In our group, I'm trying to, disseminate information, right? I'm trying to collect it all, say what we're trying to do, trying to help everybody, because it's new stuff. And, every couple of hours, somewhere around the world, somebody's getting off work and they're like, I just opened my phone. What do I do? And I'm like, we put it in announcements, brother. Go up there and look. Follow these steps I wrote and do.
Yeah.
Can you have a voice chat with me and like walk me through it and hold my hand? And I'm like,
what's a mod?
Okay. What's a mod? I have to remod my characters before I go in. And I'm like, it's the first time you're trying it. Don't you think you want to like be good at it before, like, put your best stuff on before you go outside, right?
Yeah.
This is what we do the first time, and then after you do it a couple times, then you can be like, that team's good enough without it. It's fine. Yeah. I can do whatever. But that's after you've had experience. Maybe before that you want to. So it is a little bit interesting to try and have multiple conversations with multiple people and try to make it. Try to get everybody coordinated.
Yeah.
I like it. It doesn't bother me. It's what kind of gets me jazzed up is trying to coordinate everyone. And so far they're doing a great job.
Look, so I'm in the boat of like, look, I just want to see it. And look, if I fail at this particular time. But hey, at least I'll know.
It's the first time.
Yeah. At least I'll know, what to do next time. And, I'm sorry, Paul, man, if I miss out on getting that extra star or two, man, like I'm actually just enjoying the mechanics, man. I'm having fun. So, I'm sorry, brother.
Look, it's the first time. You can't expect someone to do something the very first time they try.
Yeah.
You can't expect them to be an expert. If we've done this thing 3 or 4 times and you still make a mistake like this, then we're like, come on, man, But the first time, no way.
You haven't seen Scotty play, Grande. Come on.
I give him a break. I give him a pass the first time. Hey, you messed up. Don't do that again.
I get that all.
He was ready to sacrifice a goat for Padme, okay?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. That's my character, Hey, and speaking of characters, has your character, your favorite character in Star Wars lore, has that actually come to the game yet, guys?
Wampa is in the game. Yes, sir.
Fantastic,
man.
No, Wampa is such a great character because, like, he's actually the true hero when you think about it. He was at his own home, and people had a war on his front lawn, and then the hero of that story came into his house and cut his arm off.
That's pretty freaking funny. Actually. That's really funny.
What about you, Grande? Yeah. What's your favorite character, man? Is that the game or not yet?
I mean, it's Jedi Luke. I mean, it's got to be Jedi Luke, and he's not here yet.
Yeah.
We have CLS, but it's not really Jedi Luke.
Yeah.
We're probably going down a different path right now as far as what characters. They'll probably do a lot of Clone Wars stuff, and I'm sure they're going to hold on to Jedi Luke, but Jedi Luke's probably going to make Revan look like chump change. It's going to be crazy.
True that. Well, I mean, we all know for me it was Padme. Paul, what was it for you?
Honestly, it's Boba Fett, the first ever, my first ever 7-star, my first ever Gear 12, my first ever mods were placed on him. Yeah, Boba Fett has made it to the game, and I'm excited about that. But we all know, of the recent items, I want Rook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thrawn's 2IC, I guess you could say, the bounty hunter that hangs out with him. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be pretty sick, man. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that myself. Well, someone's character that has come to the game, and I think that there's another character I'd love to see come to the game as well, and that's Cubs fan Han himself. I just want to...
need another Han this time.
Yeah. You need another Han.
We do.
Carbonite Han. Yeah. Force Ghost Han.
And Cubs fan Han.
Yeah. and Cubs fan Han.
And speaking...
Unique can be movie reviews.
We'll ask him about that. We'll ask him actually about that, and we'll ask him about the whole, the curse of the whale that we were speaking of moments ago.
Curse of the whale.
Yep.
Indeed. So that's all on the other side of this, right here on the Escape Pod. Cast.
Hey everyone, it is the heartthrob of the Outer Rim, your boy Urs, and you are listening to the Escape Podcast with Paul Anthony and Scotty McLaren. Boys, I think I speak for all of us when I say you are hot, you are red hot.
Hey guys, it's the Nev here. If you want to hear more content from me, please come over to my channel. It's Nev. Simple as that. But if you're looking for me and you need to type something in the search, best put in my full name. It's Neil Andrew Eyre. You can also follow me on Twitter at PomPomtastic1, and you can find me on Discord, Nev, #9515. Hope to hear from you soon. Come on over, give me a like and a subscribe.
Hey there, Escape Padawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Podcast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, give us a follow, and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord server in the Show Links channel. See you on the net.
The Escape Pod Cast Guild Classifieds.
Anakin's younglings are looking for you, because after all, he can't do it alone. Enlist today. If you've got a minimum GP requirement of 3.5 million, you top the 100 in Arena, you're in the top 150 in Fleet Arena, you get your 600 daily, you're on Discord, and you are a Jedi Knight Revan. Well, enlist today with Anakin's younglings. They get 45 stars in light side territory battles, have 212 million GP, and get 48 stars in dark side territory battles. With a low turnover, and they're a mature guild with global members. Get in touch with Lone Star, that's Lone, L-O-N-E, S-T-A-R-R, #3247 on Discord to find out more. Or head to swgoh.gg/G/132/Anakin's-younglings and be a part of the guild today.
The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello there, boys and girls, and welcome to the Escape Pod, cast for kids, with me, the Nev. Today, I'm not going to lecture you about some early game aspect of the game. Rather, I'm going to tell you about my favourite moments of the pillar system. Don't worry, I won't go on for too long, as we have all got more important things to do today, as you might be one of the lucky few who are participating in the new Geo Territory Battle today. So you've probably got a bunch of Territory Battle officers yammering away at you in your Discord with instructions and orders. Anyway, I'll give you my 5 favourite moments of the pillar system. Number 5, was one of my fondest. Getting my first 7-star character. It is without a doubt one of my fondest memories. The sense of achievement was fulfilling, and it opened up a plethora of opportunities to me, as I was in a guild that was at an intermediate level, so I was able to put the character to really good use. And if memory serves me right, it was day 35 and Zeb was the character I'd completed, so yeah, I remember that. Number 4 was probably getting the Phoenix Squad, all to 7 stars. Now, it's a brilliant feeling getting a full squad to 7 stars because, I mean, yeah, sure, one character will let you go and join a heroic raid, but having a full squad of 7-star characters means you get to be able to put a decent score in. Now, you're kind of not really brilliant at it, but that's what you want. You want to be able to do a full squad, and that's why getting the Phoenix Squad all to 7 stars was such a great memory for me. Number 3 was probably doing my first legendary. Absolutely wicked memory. It was the Emperor's Demise, and I knew I would be ready because I'd finished farming for the first pillar. Obviously the first pillar being Phoenix Squadron, of course. What made this memory even sweeter was the fact that my Phoenix Squad were only level 73. And I made it all the way to tier 7 and completed it. So I completed the legendary event, got my 7-star Emperor Palpatine. It was a bit of a shock and a surprise to be able to get him at level 73, but I mean, yeah, it was great, a great feeling, sense of achievement. Number 2 was getting all the stages of the mod challenges done. Definitely my second to last favourite moment, because when you first start doing the mod challenges, you think it's easy. Going through those 3 tiers with a decent Phoenix Squadron of the health mod set seems so easy, and you're like, wow, yeah, this is brilliant. I'm going to be able to blast through all of the mod challenges and get 5 mods farmable for everything. And you know, that feeling of being able to farm for 5 mods is quite euphoric. But it took forever. So the pinnacle was when I finally completed tier 3 of the speed mod challenge, and we all know how important it is to unlock speed mods. So unlocking the ability to sim that tier and start the important task of farming speed sets for my characters was extremely satisfying, and I dare anyone to say that being able to farm 5 mods, specifically the speed sets, is not something that they remember fondly. This brings me to number 1. One of the things about the pillar system that I don't think anyone realised at the time was just how good a farming guide it is for Grand Arena. The primary focus of the pillar system is to get the characters most needed to unlock the best and easiest legendary and hero's journey character. From a free-to-play point of view, of course. Now, GA was a new feature of the game earlier this year, so no one knew how important it would be to have a bunch of decent squads to compete in this. And the pillar system did just this without really trying. By following the system, I ended up having several squads, and as everyone knows, you need good squads for Grand Arena. I won my very first Grand Arena, and it gave me a great sense of achievement. Obviously, we now have the updated Grand Arena Championships, and I hope that by continuing to follow the pillar system, I'll be able to achieve the same success in this game mode as I did in the previous version. This is the best game mode in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and the pillar system prepares you for it very well. And it's the reason why my first GA victory is my favourite memory, a memory that wouldn't have happened were it not for me following the pillar system. Well, that's enough for me now. Thanks for joining me for Storytime with the Nev on the Escape Pod, Cast for Kids.
Hi, this is Cyphermaster SB Crumb, and you're listening to the Escape Pod Cast. This show was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127. 27 or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
Hey there, Escape Podawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod cast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, give us a follow, and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord server in the Show Links channel. See you on the net.
If you like what you hear on the Escape Pod cast, sign up to become a Patreon today. Support Scotty and Paul for as low as $2 a month, and you can help them launch Escape Pods for months to come. Visit patreon.com/the Escape Pod to sign up. Support us today.
The Escape Pod cast.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back to this edition of the Escape Pod cast. And of course, if you've already looked at the guests that we have today, you're going to figure out who this is. But, you heard Scotty and I's impression of Grand Arena just recently in the beginning of the show. But we wanted to talk to somebody that loves to stream this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. The namesake of our network, the CFH network, it's Cubs Fan Han. Welcome.
What is going on, ladies?
How are you, brother? Are you well?
I'm so good. And I've been wanting to come on this show for a long time. I think the last time you had me, you had crappy driving home from work in the car audio. And so I got you guys got the studio this time. Let's go. Let's talk Grand Arena.
Man. Yeah, we certainly do have so we record on a platform called Zencaster now. So now everybody's audio is the local audio, and it's not over Discord. So, next time that we have like you heard that through the Crumb interview last week, but this week, next time we have a CG person on, it's going to be good quality, and I won't get the hate on YouTube.
No.
Next time we have CG on. So you've had 2 CG interviews, and you guys are so audacious. You're saying next time. Look at these guys.
Hey, they promised.
They got ice in their veins. Oh, man. It's amazing. What? It's amazing.
Well, Cubs, you call us the new game changers. Is that right?
You're the only game changers.
I'm the one who changed platoons.
There you go.
No, just kidding. But look, moving on. And Grand Arena, man, how are you finding this tournament now that it works?
So I love everything about this except for the matchmaking so far, which definitely seems to have been over-tweaked. I very much appreciate what Capital Games is trying to accomplish here, however, and it's an exhibition round. It's a round for them to gather feedback. And so I'm not personally outraged running with my torch and pitchfork to CG yet because it is an exhibition round. But, I mean, I've seen some matchups where, the GP isn't the whole story, right? I mean, I've got an opponent right now that I'm about to face, and I've got 100,000 more GP than him. But he is very focused, very, very focused. His mods are better than mine. He's got more Grand Arena caliber squads than I've got. And I think this guy's going to beat me. And so that's a good example of where a match like that should be allowed to happen because, the GP doesn't tell the whole story. But then you've got situations like what Mobile Gamer's in right now, where he's going up against an opponent who has, I think it's over 60 additional Gear 12 characters than he has. And that to me is where it just feels imbalanced, and they need to find ways to tweak it a bit more so that it's not creating, because I'm hearing more lopsided matches than I've heard of in a long time. And I think, for several months, I don't think I saw anybody complain about Grand Arena matchmaking. And now we've got a lot of people talking and telling stories, and some of them seem justified, some of them don't. So that's the only complaint I have. But other than that, I love the leaderboards, love the format, love the feats, love it all.
Yeah, look, I'm the same as you, Cubs. I love all of it too. And I'm in the same boat as you. I'm actually up against a guy that's 4.5 million, except the other thing is, though, is that it's kind of tweaked. This guy doesn't have Jedi Knight Revan, nor does he have Darth Revan. So I don't have Darth Malak. So this will be an interesting match, I feel.
Right. Yeah, and I think those specific characters definitely make a big difference. I mean, if I've got Darth Malak and my opponent doesn't, I almost don't even feel like I need to look at the rest of his roster to feel confident. And so I'm not sure if they're taking that into account or not in the matchmaking. But yeah, there you have it.
Absolutely.
I had a matchup. My first matchup was against somebody who was a little bit higher than me. And if I wouldn't have made some stupid mistakes... Was he from
Colorado or California?
No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you.
No, I'm saying a little higher, like, they've got marijuana over there.
No, I didn't fight going nerdy.
He's putting a Gear 13 cup in or something like that.
The first ever Gear 13 cup came from our alliance, by the way.
That's you guys? See, this is what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the Escape Podcast, and you will Gear 13 your cup. This is the advice they're giving here. That's why CG comes.
But if I wouldn't have made some stupid mistakes myself, I would have actually cleared the two teams in one shot and won this. But now I'm playing for second through third place, fourth place rewards. I'm gonna get them. It's painful though when you're like, I should have done this.
That's good pain, though, isn't it? I mean, I see a lot of people get hurt, but to me, I've lost, and I've lost in front of a lot of people, and it sucks, but it's awesome to go back and look at it and go, all right, where did this go wrong exactly? Is it, is it an attack strategy thing? Is it a modding thing? Is it a squad thing? I need to farm this and learn and go from there. So that's something that I love about this game mode is there's so much to learn from it every time.
Absolutely.
The one thing that Cubs really needs to learn, though, is to farm Range Trooper.
I knew this was coming. You guys know I'm free to play now. Going forward, I'm not going to pretend like I was before, but going forward, I'm not spending money. And now it's extra impossible for me to get to Range Trooper. I mean, oh my gosh, I've got to get Brood Alpha farmed. I got to finish out my Geonosians. I got to finish out my Separatist team. I've got to find a way to farm my Jango Fett still. I'm still trying to finish him to 7 stars. I mean, gosh, when am I ever going to find time to farm this fool?
Well, that's a great segue into what we're going to be talking to you about in just a moment. Is your whole pledge that you made on YouTube?
You're bringing it up.
Okay. I am gonna. We are gonna.
You guys want CG to come back on this show?
No, we certainly do want to bring it up because it has been a big topic of discussion with people.
Cool.
But what you're seeing as far as your Grand Arena, have you scoped out all the opponents, and what are you thinking about the overall matchmaking? I mean, you talked about your matchup that you had immediately, but what about all the opponents that you have?
Yeah, and I look at every single player every time. I'm a bit of a, what's the word? I'm a bit obsessed with Grand Arena. I spend a little too much time at work when I should probably doing other things. My day job, not my YouTube fun job. Just like looking at people's rosters and be like, all right, I don't want to match up with this guy. This guy's a mad lad. This guy's got a Gear 13 cup. He's crazy eyes. But there's one guy in my group this time in particular who's got 400,000 galactic power on me, and looking through his squad, and that's a character GP. And he's got everything squad wise. And so if I go up against him, I feel like it's an auto loss. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not super stoked about that. Here's how I feel about Grand Arena and the matchmaking, kind of circling back to that. If I feel like something is an auto loss, if it is an auto loss, the matchmaking failed. If I'm at a disadvantage, but it's still winnable, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being outmodded. I'm okay with having, being out squadded as far as like who's got what squads and everything. I can respect that. But it's when it's just like, you know what? You could do every single thing right and you have no prayer of winning. That's where the matchmaking to me feels broken. And this guy feels like that to me. And it's not just his GP. It's looking through all the squads, all the mods and everything.
Interesting. Like, I'm the same as you as well. Like, because I love this game mode as much as you do, Cubs, and this game mode to me means so much. Like, I love just going through everything in their roster and thinking, okay, how am I going to, if I have to face this guy, how am I going to stop him from being able to get through my wall here at the beginning? Sure, you might get through my wall, but what's behind that? And it's the same thing. And I'm thinking, okay, so what are they likely to put on defense? And then I save certain squads just for that, for my offense. And you've always got to be thinking like that, don't you?
Definitely. Yeah, you do. And you know what? I mean, there's times where pretty much I would say every loss I've had, I feel like it was a winnable match so far. I feel like the Grand Arena matchmaking was in a good place. And I lost matches and I looked at it and I was like, you know what? My opponent, he beat me. He beat me fair and square. And he had a better strategy, better defensive strategy. He had better attack strategy, or I screwed this up and that's on me. Those kind of losses, I respect him. That is part of sport. That's part of game, is getting bested by a better opponent who showed up and performed better on the day of your competition. I respect that. But when it's, no matter what I do, I'm going to lose. That's just, why play? Why play?
And it's look, and what about with Gear 13? I mean, like, that's where it's going to start getting a little bit problematic, I guess you could say, is with the Gear 13. Indeed. Like, when now we're all looking at, okay, how many Gear 12 characters have you got? But now it might even come down to the fact that, someone's got a Gear 13 Malik and you don't have Malik, game, set, and match, or you do have Malik, but it's at Gear 12, that sort of thing. Could be very, very interesting to see in the future.
Yeah, Gear 13 definitely is going to make this interesting, especially because, I mean, part of me thinks, oh, well, the whales, they'll just, kind of filter up and they'll get out of here. But there's the people I'm worried about are the people who are like 300,000 galactic power underneath me that are about to whale on all these characters. Those are the guys that are going to sneak up and fight me, and I'm going to have a hard time facing them. So, yeah, and for free-to-play players, it's going to take a while to get those Gear 13 characters. I'm not sure how many I'm going to be able to get. I'm not going to be able to have my first one for at least a week, probably. So, and that's fine. It's the free-to-play life.
Well, if you guys haven't seen Cubs' video yet, make sure you go over and check it out, because it is an outstanding video of the top 10 characters to get to Gear 13 first. One of those characters that I didn't see on your list, though, Cubs, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Grand Admiral Thrawn. The buffs and everything he gets at Gear 13 is just outstanding. I mean, he's probably my second character I'd get to Gear 13, like, immediately.
Very interesting. Yeah, he does get good stat boosts. To me, I personally found the other characters and where I intended to use them more impactful for what their stat boosts were. In particular, I mean, the two characters I'm the most excited to take are Bastille Fallen and Darth Malik. And I know a lot of people are talking about Grievous. I want to take him there too. It's a little less benefit for me currently because my Separatist team isn't quite rounded out yet. I'm working on it as fast as I can, which is not fast. But for me, Darth Malik has a just stupid health boost.
Yeah.
And he's got a stupid damage boost. And he's already devastating enough. And then Bastille Fallen, you want her to go first. I've already got pretty freaking fast mods on my Bastille Fallen, so I really like taking that to next level and making sure I still have that speed advantage on my Shard. And beyond that, from a defensive perspective, old Daka was on my list.
Yeah.
She gets really tanky. She gains some potency. Her stat boosts are going to make her very scary. Very scary. I think she's going to... People who take their Daka to Gear 13 are probably going to be pretty happy with what they see on defense. I think they're going to catch people off guard.
I agree. I agree.
But, you know, there's nothing. If you want to do Thrawn, you go do Thrawn, man. You know, that's how they do it down under. Let's go.
But no, in all seriousness, though, Cubs, I've got to say, in all seriousness,
injector cells on the Barbie, okay?
No, in all seriousness, though, Cubs, I mean, you nailed the top 10, but you know, I mean, like an honourable mention to Thrawn would have been good, but like Daka, I agree with you. I mean, I looked at her as well and thought, oh yeah, that could be quite nasty if you've got like a Night Sisters team that's at gear 13. Oh no,
they're gonna be sick, man.
Yeah,
disgusting.
No, it's going to be horrible, and maybe even you might even see the Night Sisters become part of the meta again, perhaps.
Calm down there. I don't know if it's going to go that far. But what I'm thinking about more is to me, I'm less concerned about Arena nowadays. I'm way more concerned about Grand Arena.
Yeah, me too.
And Daka might be pretty early on my list just because I want to catch people off guard. And I think having her at gear 13 with that, you know, all of that health gain she's going to have and how much deeper that health pool is going to go, it's going to make her so hard to kill. I really like old Daka.
Yeah, no, I agree. But Thrawn as well is another good character. You know, I mean, let's just...
You know a character that wasn't on my list that got robbed, though?
Who's that?
I've seen some footage recently of this. I'm going to make a video on this, and I regret not realizing this impact. Canderous Ordo.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
This fool is critting on his basic, which you triple tap, by the way, for upwards of 40, 50 plus thousand damage per hit.
Yep.
That's on par with Finn in the Sith Raid.
Yeah, it's crazy. He gets the best damage boost in the entire game going to gear 13.
Wow. Well,
I don't know how I glossed that over. Shame on me.
Even more so than what Han Solo gets.
Oh, Han Solo's not even in the top 10 for damage boosts, if I remember right.
Yeah.
He gets a great damage boost. And for Han, it's like because of who he is and what he does, that damage boost is more significant. Like, I think Jedi Consular is one that gets a big damage boost. It's like, who literally cares? You know? But so it's relative. But Canderous, with how much he hits, and I mean, it's really impactful. And I've even got some videos of him doing pretty well against some top meta teams. So.
Yeah,
stay tuned for that.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
We definitely look forward to that.
Shameless plug.
Shameless self-promotion, as we say here on the Escape Podcast. But before we get to that taboo topic, one thing that I do want to congratulate you on is that you are now a game changer for Battlefront 2.
I took a 1-week vacation from being an official game changer, and it feels great to be back.
So, you know, for those that also do like the Star Wars video games outside of mobile, do you want to give them a quick rundown of what to expect on your channel for Battlefront 2?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm definitely moving towards as much Battlefront 2 as I can do for a couple reasons. Number one, my goal as a human right now is I want to be a full-time YouTuber very badly. And to me, I don't see how that's going to happen without diversifying my content. It's been a little bit challenging to figure out what content is going to sit best with my audience. I've tried several things. I've gotten some very candid feedback. And ultimately, to me, one of the reasons why Battlefront has sat well with me is because it's got the same IP. It's Star Wars. And a lot of people who are playing this game, I did a poll on Twitter, and I want to say it was 46% of my audience said that they don't play Battlefront 2 at all, which is actually, that leaves a lot of people that are playing it. For having a random sample of 34,000 people out on the internet, to have over half of them playing this game, that's a pretty good starting point. More than anything, it's a game that I love, though. And I thought to myself, this game makes sense. It's kind of been in the back of my mind. I wanted to cover it when it first came out, but there was all that controversy with the loot boxes and pride and accomplishment and all that good stuff, and most downvoted comment in the history of Reddit on the forums. And that just spooked me hard. But lately, I've been reading about Battlefront. I watched a couple videos and I thought, my goodness, they've turned it around completely. How did they recover from that deep of a hole there's got to be something to the game. And I picked it up, and I thought, if I'm enjoying it, I'll consider covering it. And I'll tell you what, I haven't had this much fun in a console game since I was playing Halo as a kid. I am having so much fun, and it's really convenient, because a lot of times when I try to branch out, it's like you kind of gotta force yourself into something and try something that you're not quite committed to yet, but you're gonna hope that you get there, kind of thing. I'm committed regardless of YouTube, man. Like, I'm begging my wife to play this game as much as I can. In fact, I've got it pulled up right now. I'm looking at it. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to do a round. So I'm going to be covering it. Galaxy of Heroes is still my main jam, obviously, but I definitely want to continue to be more serious about this. And I'd really like it to kind of catapult me into Jedi Fallen Order, which I think is going to be a phenomenal game.
Well, that's what leads me to that next thing that I wanted to talk to you about, Cubs, because Jedi Fallen Order is a game that I know that you are very much looking forward to, and I know that you're actually going to be streaming this too, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my plan, once it hits, I'm thinking I might want to even take a day off work and just stream at midnight, as soon as it releases, and just try to go through the whole campaign as much as I can.
Nice. Yeah, we want to see it.
With the help of Mountain Dew, right?
With the help of Mountain Dew, who I'm trying to be sponsored by, right?
Exactly.
Mountain Dew, if you're listening, I'm open to sponsorship talks.
But let's hit that elephant in the room. After you turned in, I still remember your throwing away your free-to-play card after people helped you get Darth. Not Darth Revan, but Jedi Knight Revan. That was your turning point, right?
Yep. That's right.
And
I mean, I wouldn't say I was not. Some people who are purists would say before that, you're not free to play, because I'd probably spent like maybe $50 on the game at that point. But that's $50 over, however many years it had been until we got Revan, right? And so to me, I didn't feel like it was. I was a pay-to-play player. Maybe I wasn't purebred free-to-play, but I was very, very much, for all intents and purposes, a free-to-play style of player. So, yeah.
But this Jedi Knight Revan then turned you into, I wouldn't say a kraken, and not necessarily a whale, but I think I would put you in the same category as me, a fat dolphin.
Perhaps, yeah. My budget was $100 a month, so whatever that equates to. And that's about what I stuck to. I spent a little bit less than that, actually.
Wow.
So, so if they have not seen it, 6 days ago from when we're recording this, one week ago from when this airs, you went on YouTube in a 10-minute video and you said what?
I committed to my audience that I would not spend on the game ever again.
Why?
Good question. And a lot of people, at a glance, when they looked at the title, especially given the tone on my channel lately, probably believed it to be a statement, a political statement, an uprising against Capital Games. And I, in all honesty, can say it has nothing to do with that. What happened was I was sitting around watching a Mobile Gamer's video where he was talking about spending on the game and kind of some of the effects of it. And it was directly related to the Kyrotech controversy with every character having Kyrotech on them and how, all of that. And it just kind of started getting me thinking, because I remember sitting at my desk at work recently thinking, all right, we got the Kyrotechs coming out. Everybody's got it. I've got to get everyone to Gear 13. Here's my budget. What do I need to change here so that I can get everything right away? And I started thinking it's some pretty crazy numbers, my friends. And I remember thinking, I don't want to spend this, but I feel like I have to. And it was a very uncomfortable reality that I realized I've actually been fighting with for a long time. And I've been pessimistic about the game lately, a little extra pessimistic. And I'm kind of seen as, or I was at least, seen as a positive voice in this community. And so it was I keep getting comments in my videos too. This is something else that I started thinking about, people saying Cubs, I miss the positive Cubs, etc. And I started connecting the dots, and I realized that me becoming a little bit more negative on my YouTube channel wasn't just because I disagreed with what CG was doing. Now, I disagree with a lot of what CG does still, and I'm not going to shy away from giving that feedback. But I think I had a bit of a bitterness, an edge to me, and a lot of that stemmed from any decision that was made that wasn't free to play friendly, that required spending of some kind. It made me bitter because I felt obligated to do it because I'd spent X amount of money, which to me, for anybody listening to this who's a big whale, they're going to look at my budget, go $100 a month, like, oh my gosh, that's crazy, whatever. I want everyone who's thinking that right now to ask themselves, before you started playing this game, if you were told that you were going to budget more than $100 a month on a mobile phone game, how would you have felt about that before you played this game? Now, that's not a judgmental comment. I'm just saying it's a lot of money. Right. It is a lot of money, regardless of where you're sitting. And I started realizing that because I'd spent that much money in the game to this point, I felt like I owed it to myself to continue doing that, to keep that trend up so that I could make that investment worth it, which is called, I've learned since, it's called the sunk cost fallacy. Where you just continue sinking and sinking and sinking money into something, trying to get your return for your investment, and ultimately you're just never really going to get it. And so that is when I realized that, and I'm sorry, this is a very long tangent.
No.
But you guys, it's a big question. That's when I realized a couple things. Number one, for me to go back to being positive on my channel, I need to stop spending money because the spending is what is making me feel pressure that is giving me the inclination to be more touchy, more pessimistic, etc. Number two, I started thinking about, and this really drove home when I started reading the comments when I posted the video, but I felt like I just owed it to my audience because I knew that there's so many people that came to me. They didn't come to me to hear me be a whiny little punk on them. And I don't think I was super whiny, but I was starting to go that way, and I didn't like that. And so I felt like I owed it to them. And I'll tell you what, there were some comments that made me emotional reading them, just seeing people who said, Cubs, I unsubscribed before because I was tired of you. I didn't want you to spend on the game, and you were super negative and all that, et cetera. And these people coming back saying this is who I came for. This is who I subscribe for. And so while it's a tough decision, I think it was the right one, especially for who I am. I feel like I'm being true to my roots.
Well, I want to throw in there too, Cubs. Because there was privately, there's been a number of discussions which in the lead up to this, which you and I had, and we'd spoken a lot. And I could sense a small tad of depression coming in there, man, about the whole spending thing. And now I talk to you and you're back to the old Cubs, bro. So it's certainly worked for you from a mental side, hasn't it?
Definitely. Yep. I've been a lot more optimistic. And also an element of that I didn't share is just throw YouTube out of it. I started YouTubing for this game because I loved the game, right? I was telling all my friends about the game. I was like, I got my brother to play and all of my brothers-in-law to play the game. Before I was YouTubing, I was like, you got to play. And I just harassed them until I started playing. I just love the game so much. And it's really kind of brought back a lot of that excitement. There's still parts of the game that drive me nuts. Like, I think I will fight to my dying day this stupid Chirotech thing. Every character having 100 of those on them now. I just think it's ridiculous. And anyway, but the Grand Arena, it's so fun. And streaming, it's just so fun. And so just kind of, and something that a free-to-play player has that pay-to-play players won't ever have is they learn to accept that they can't do stuff. They just learn to accept this can't be done. And no, I'm not, pay-to-play players have to accept that to some degree too, but free-to-play players, they have to have that down if they're going to enjoy the game. And that's something that I've got back now. At least I'm trying. It's that one's a bit of a work in progress now. I've got a little bit of frustration.
No,
but,
I absolutely, I absolutely get that. And, we're very grateful to have the old Cubby back, the one that brought Scotty and I together in the first place, to be honest with you.
It's not just that, though, Paul.
So grateful.
It's not just that, Paul. Because, look, for me, Cubs is the first person I turn to for a lot of things in this game. And, and to see what he's doing now and to see that, you can do it without spending, man, more power to you, brother. There's a lot of people out there like my own brother that will not spend any money on this game. Unlike Paul, who's got a 7-star, Geo Brood?
Thanks to the Patreons for that and my ship shard. Which, Cubby told me to ignore ships for a while.
Some people, that's how they have fun in the game. For me, another element of this that I forgot to mention too is when I picked up Battlefront not too long ago, before I made this commitment. And I couldn't help but think, man, I picked up this game, haven't spent a dime on it other than the $5 I spent on Origins to buy the game on PC. I went into Arena with end game players. I was able to kill them. Day one, haven't spent a dime other than just getting the game downloaded. And so, to me, I didn't like that money was part of the enjoyment too. Gaming isn't about spending money. Gaming is about community. And that's one thing that I love so much about Galaxy of Heroes is I've never in my life participated in a community this amazing. And I'm not just saying that. I have friendships that go deep in this game. I mean, when I was stranded, for example, I was stranded in Louisville, Kentucky. And when my wife and I were flying out on vacation to Florida, because there was something that happened in the airport, so we got rerouted to Louisville, Kentucky, of all places. I know somebody in the game on Louisville, Kentucky. I called him up. He met me at the hotel. We had a great chat. You don't get that with just any game. And so community is what it's about to me, not feeling obligated to spend money. And I'm not saying that everybody who spends is going to feel that way, but that's what it did to me. That's what it did to me, and I had to realize that I had to put it to stop, or I was going to be miserable.
I agree with you about the community. The community is why I continue to play this game. I mean, there had been a few instances in the past few years, I won't lie, Cubs, that I've actually been tempted myself to put the game down and put it away. But the community, man, it's like the Godfather. Once you think you're out, they suck you back in.
Yep. So I would say the community gets you through the hard times.
Yeah,
right? I mean, there's ups and downs. There's times like right now with Grand Arena and Territory Battles, I feel like, I sat down to make a video today. I'm like, I want to make a video about this. I want to make a video about this. I want to make a video about this. And I've got 30 subjects I want to make videos about. And the game is super fun right now. 2 weeks ago, what the hell am I going to make a video about? There's nothing going on. And, those are times when if it weren't for the constant aspect of this game, I'd probably put it down. But the community gets you through that.
Yeah. How's the Galaxy?
With you going back to everything, I truly think, and making another Godfather reference, you've finally left the gun and taken the cannoli.
There you go. And the cannoli's good.
And look, I've got to ask you, because you've got a cool video which is coming very, very soon. And, it's something that I know that you do a lot of work with, and it's with the community. And it's not only do you do your top 20 characters for the month, Cubs, but one of the other things because you get the community to vote on that, which is great. But not only do you get the community to vote on those sorts of things, but you've also got a cool little World Cup sort of a thing happening, man. And with the Cricket World Cup on at the moment, hey, I'm loving life, man. I'd like to know a little bit more. When are we going to be seeing the World Cup of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes?
So over in Australia, they can get little crickets to fight each other.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the World Cup is fun. It's a ton of work, but man, when I have to give a special shout out to my buddy Zank Carrick, who's one of my patrons, who's actually organizing the whole thing this time. I just didn't have time to organize it all, but we're I'm doing a lot of work, but he's really doing the work on this. And we've got organized communities in the game. There's so many communities, right? You've got communities like the Republic, communities like GID, communities like Shadowlands, your community, all these communities of guilds. And we've got the 16 of them organized. And all of these 16 communities are going to participate in a live draft. When does this episode air? On Friday?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
So tomorrow, then, when you guys are listening, is tomorrow, Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're doing a draft where all of the 16 communities are going to come together, and they're going to draft characters in the game to participate in a World Cup style tournament. And once we draft those characters, then you auto the battles against the teams, flip for who's on which side, and you do a group stage and then on to a knockout stage with 8 teams. And so it's really fun. I've already done a round of it where we did it with actual countries, just players representing each country, and it's going to be fun. We're only banning Malik. Malik's the only character banned, and just because he's just too OP, and we don't want anybody to have an auto win with a single character. But other than that, you can pick anybody. You just have to alternate between factions, so you can't pick 2 characters in a row of the same faction. So there's going to be some drafting.
Let's see. For example, if I take Jedi Knight Revan, I'm then banned from using any Jedi and any Old Republic.
Yep.
Wow. If you take a broad spectrum character, you are limited. You are handcuffed.
You are. Yeah, big time. So, I guess that this would be quite interesting. I mean, I know that there's a, shout out to the ANZ GAC Guild, the Australian Guild. I'll be watching you guys with quite a lot of interest. I see that they're a part of the World Cup Cubs. And go you good things. Come on, represent Australia. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, go Divergence. Go Divergence.
There you go.
We're the land of misfit toys, and damn it, we're coming for your heads.
Oh, brilliant. Well, look, make sure you guys stick around because coming up real soon, we're going to be getting into the bridge. But Cubs, just before you go, I got to ask you, man, movie reviews, are you still doing them?
So right now, that's actually a really good question because I really want to continue doing movie reviews. It's something that I love doing. With the spurt I've had on Battlefront, kind of realizing, this could be really good for my channel. I feel really hopeful about Battlefront. That's kind of taking a front seat right now, and I'm probably going to shift towards. I've got a movie review channel, and I'm going to post there, but it might not be as frequent or as committed as my main channel, and that's fine. I mean, that channel is not monetized. I'm just going to try to treat it more as a totally for fun, off the cuff. When I'm excited about movies, I'll review them on there, but it won't be like a every single week kind of thing.
Okay, so stay tuned for the episode 9 movie review from Cubs fan Han.
I'll definitely review that. Yep. Well, that one, because it's Star Wars, I'll probably just throw that on my main channel.
With a link to the description below to the Cubs fan Han movie reviews. Make sure you go and check those out. Cubs fan Han, man, it's always a pleasure to chat to you, brother. And look, we hope we can talk to you again very soon. And thanks for allowing us to be a part of the CFH network too, man.
Of course, man. Of course. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's been really, really fun having participated in your origin to see you guys blossom and grow. And I should have known the radio experts that you guys are, that this is what it would be.
Flattery will get you everywhere, Cubs. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Scotty McLaren and Paul Anthony.
G'day, this is Scotty McLaren, and I'm here to tell you about one of our very, very cool Patreons who also happens to be one of the many game changers which is out there. I'm talking about the one, the only, Urzatron.
Here we go, everybody. Who's ready for some Tuskens?
He's the man that brings the gaffy sticks. He's also the man that brings together Lobot versus the meta. He's the man that is the king of the Beauty and the Beast.
But you know what, Mommy? We ride single file, baby girl. And there you go.
If you haven't been to check out Urzatron's live streams before for Grand Arena, make sure you do it because he is one of the coolest dudes which is out there, and he is the heartthrob of the Outer Rim after all.
You gotta get the 6, baby.
So, if you're looking for something to do today, especially with Grand Arena being more constant, make sure you go visit Urzatron. I fully endorse the man, and so does Cora.
Don't leave us waiting. We can make all your fantasies a reality. Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast. Guild Classifieds.
Anakin's younglings are looking for you, because after all, he can't do it alone. Enlist today. If you've got a minimum GP requirement of 3.5 million, you top the 100 in Arena, you're in the top 150 in Fleet Arena, you get your 600 daily, you're on Discord, and you are a Jedi Knight Revan. Well, enlist today with Anakin's younglings. They get 45 stars in Lightside Territory Battles, have 212 million GP, and get 48 stars in Darkside Territory Battles, with a low turnover, and they're a mature guild with global members. Get in touch with Lone Star, that's Lone, L-O-N-E, S-T-A-R-R, hashtag 3247 on Discord to find out more. Or head to swgoh.gg/G/132/Anakin's-younglings and be a part of the guild today.
If you like what you hear on the Escape Pod cast, sign up to become a Patreon today. Support Scotty and Paul for as low as $2 a month, and you can help them launch Escape Pods for months to come. Visit patreon.com/the Escape Pod to sign up. Support us today.
The CFH Network presents the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast. The Bridge.
Yes, and welcome back to the Escape Podcast. And guys, if you'll just indulge me for 2 seconds here.
Go, Hall. Let's go get it, everybody.
Let's go get it, Urs. Sorry about that.
So we watch Urs while we're doing the Escape Pod.
Indeed,
cast.
we do. Indeed, we do. Let's go hit it, Urs. And yeah, he is, of course, on fire. Love the Urzatron. Go over and, give that guy a like and, help him out as well. I know that he's trying to get to a specific goal at the moment, especially with subscribers. So he's our boy, Urs, and we love him a lot. So get over there and go and say hi to him. Hey, Paul.
And we just want 1% of that. All we want is just 1% of what Urs has.
That's right. That's right. Hey, what's he doing now? Just quickly, let's just see. What's he doing?
Oh, careful with the music, Scotty. Careful with the music.
Oh yeah. So he's on the hunt to try and get to 10K, is Urs at the moment. Let's just see how he's going. Come on, Urs.
And we are live, baby, live! Friday night in the hall, in the Outer Rim. Guys, let me just set the stage for you. Been working my ass off all day doing marketing automation in a different galaxy, and I did my exercise. Yeah, boys, ouchin', baby. Getting it hot up in the hall. Got all my exercise in.
All right. We have the bridge that we got to do.
Sorry about that. I had to do that. Get over there and go and like him.
But no. Yeah, absolutely. You heard the commercial in the break. Go support Urzatron. He should know better than to go live while we're live.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he's only just gone live, so we're about to wrap up, and I know that that's what he wants to do. Fighting Drunk's over there at the moment with him as well. So happy birthday to you too, Fighting Drunk, and shout out to Tenpool. I'm sorry, have to do that.
It's always Tenpool's birthday every single week. Now, Actually, Fighting Drunk, he says he's listening to us while watching Urs. So, Fighting Drunk, he had a question. He's one of our Patreons.
Yes.
If you guys have any questions, post them in the listener lounge right now, and we'll try to get to them. Patreons do, of course, get priority.
Yep.
Fighting Drunk asked, during the this being a question for us being Territory Wars and Territory Battle Commanders, how do we feel about having to add a comment into the notes when just trying to lock or focus on a territory? I noticed that right away. Right when Territory Battle started, I clicked the button. I was like, what? I am setting a command. Just throw in do it or see Discord. That usually works for me.
Do it.
No.
Go over there and make sure you do it. Look, I'm fine with it. I think it's fine. Like, it's always nice to be able to say something to your guild. You know, you could always say, hey, shameless self-promotion, just like Hellenix does. You could possibly even do that. Just write that in there. Just write anything silly, like, hey, check out this snake, or check out this crocodile, or how about this kangaroo? I like seeing those sorts of silly Discord messages and those silly in-game messages as well, Paul. I think that's a definite thing you should do. You could even say, Highnessy is a legend if you want to. You could do that. You could do that.
Don't you mean horse box?
Yeah, that's true. So look, just say whatever you want in the comment box. I think it's hilarious. I think it's fun let's make it fun. You don't need to always be like, see Discord or do that. Make it fun. Like, give people a reason to actually click on it and go, that's quite quality. I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, did we have any other questions? I think that Zed asked, who is Tenpool? Tenpool is a myth. There is no Tenpool, only Zool.
Tenpool is a myth. Tenpool is a myth. Just quickly, we do have a quick question, which is an incoming transmission, guys.
Is back in action tonight. Joshua Hayden with the $2 donation. Shoddy Boy is the man. He says, Shoddy Boy. All right.
Sorry, that was an incoming transmission, guys. I apologize. It's just Urs doing his thing.
Apropos wants to know if he could get an Escape podcast lullaby because his kids won't go to sleep.
Ooh.
So, go to sleep. Darth Vader will force choke. Go to sleep. Or he'll kill you while you're dead. I don't know. There you go.
Love it. Who says that we don't do silly singing on this show? We all do. Oh, look.
And I owe our people a parody song, but I really want... And, okay, we didn't run any commercials for it, but I will mention it right here, right now. As I speak, let me go take a look.
Go on.
All right, GoFundMe.com/Mrs. Anthony. Guys, we are just $1,509 away from me just closing this out and being done with it. If you can help, GoFundMe.com/Mrs. Anthony. Do that today if you can, as you're listening to this. Or if, you have a rich Uncle Pennybags that just wants to help out there and just put the stamp of approval on it. Let's just get this done, because if we hit that 15K, I will be obligated to travel to Arizona and talk and do a music video with the guest we just had on, Cubs fan Han, for Slice Baby.
Absolutely. And make sure you do that. Get involved in that. Please do donate as well. And look, I've got to send it a shout out to another content creator. It's good to have him here with us too, Deadpool Kyle. Thanks, mate. Thanks for dropping by. It's good to have you guys here. In fact, I'm going to do something that's a little bit different, and I'm going to wrap, I'm going to do something that, our good friend Urs likes to do. So, sorry, Urs, I'm just going to, take some of your thunder here. I want to send in a shout out to everyone that's in the recording studio with us this evening. Apropos, Blackened, Bringer of Chaos, Cascade, Daenerys, Darth Seabrus, Darth Derb, DT Kobe, Fighting Drunk, Gangster Grievous, Grande is here, Heinze, also Jabrak, Jay Solo, Curtis Blow, Maverick, Mega Crippleton, who is the guild leader of the Yavin 4, Nevrok, Plasma, Savage Diva, the Greek, the Nev, the Sarlacc, the Zed, Uber, Zane, and Dagger. You guys are all here. Big shout outs to all you guys, and make sure you check out all their guild stuff as well in the guild classifieds, because you can go and join those guilds as well, which is always good. So just thought I'd send in a shout out to everyone that's listening to us. Big thank you for tuning in, guys. Had to throw that out there. So I just thought I'd steal something from Urs. He told me that we should do this more often, Paul, and I said to him, yes, we should. So there you go, Urs. There's a shout out for you, brother, that you told me we should do it. So we did.
There we go.
Awesome.
Heinze actually asks.
Yeah.
Heinze asks, how's Christy?
Yes.
So for the first time in, I want to say almost 7 months, she was walking for an entire week without a cane or walker. That was amazing. And she still needs the oxygen at night, but other than that, she's without it, and we're pushing along. So thank you for asking, Heinze.
She's doing okay, but the bills are still racking up though, aren't they?
Well, we've hit the deductible, but it's not the bills that are racking up; it's the phone calls that are coming in. Hey, you still owe this $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. We know.
It's problematic, and
that's all right.
So make sure
we'll get it done.
Make sure that you guys go and give her a hand if you can as well. Lots of love coming your way too, Paul, which is good in the listener lounge as well, man, and Christy's way as well, which is always a beautiful, beautiful thing. Hey, all right, well, guys, look, that about wraps us up on the Escape Podcast for yet another week, and Paul, I just got to say, man, that it's just an absolute pleasure to do this show with you each and every week, man. And I love all of our listeners. I love everyone that comes along and shows us the amount of support that you guys do on this show. Without you guys, it's we wouldn't have a show. So thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate it. And also to our production crew in the background as well, the Llama, the Sarlacc, the Zed. You guys are just absolutely sensational. And also big shout out to the Danku as well, who just continues to just go from strength to strength. The Danku, man, you are an absolute star. We love everything that you do, brother. So thank you, man.
And we cannot forget the
Nev, indeed,
who gives us the Escape Podcast for kids. I did the pause at the wrong part, but that's okay. I'm tired. But many thanks to him for his continued support. He may be instrumental in getting us going live soon across multiple platforms. So stay tuned for that. That's that could be a premiere in July for the Escape Pod.
And I've also got to say as well, shout out to the Nev as well. I know that he's still hurting, especially after Australia absolutely pumped the Poms on Tuesday night.
Oh, don't be mean.
Had to go there. I'm sorry. We were in the live stream earlier today, and we loved every second of it on that night. Nev was saying it's going to be all good, but Australia on fire. But, mate, Nev, we love you, brother. We absolutely love you.
Don't.
He's unhappy.
To our England listeners, I'm just going to tell you this. Don't worry. This will not make it into post-prod.
Yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will. All right, guys, it's time to get out of here. Paul, what do I need to do?
Oh, man. Scotty, I think you need to look over to your right.
Yes.
Point to the sky.
Yes.
Point your finger down, and Scotty, push the
Don't
button.
mind if I do. And Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.